welcome back to Campbell's Freedom Farm. And today, as you can see, we have our lemongrass in our pot and some of our already dried lemongrass. So let's talk about a few ways to dry lemongrass. One, we do have a dehydrator, so you could cut all these up, you could lay them in there. It takes more time. It's a little bit more time consuming because you have to sit there and cut it. The other option is just to cut it outside, put it straight in this bowl, and just let it sit in a dry area. It doesn't even need to be in direct sunlight. The other option, all you do is just cut it, and I'm not going to cut too much off this, and then you'd wrap it, and you could tie it and just hang it, which is really such a traditional method to use, and we used to do it on our log cabins, and it really looked cool. But in the newer houses, it doesn't look as neat hanging on the walls. So it's better in those old log cabins or the old French style houses, I think. So this one I just let dry in the bowl, and last year, if you tune back to one of the older videos, we went ahead and used the oven a little bit and dehydrated it that way, and then we just sliced it up like this. This year we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to use the NutriBullet, and we're going to turn it into a powder form. I think it's great. It's better in tea than you're actually eating it more. It's great in all the curries and all the recipes that we make compared to having the clumps. These are great for tea too, don't get me wrong. We like both. But this can be in so many different foods, teas, everything. And I think what's great about lemongrass is we always think of turmeric as anti-inflammatory, but actually lemongrass is also just as good. It's also antioxidant. Who doesn't want all this stuff during this time? And there's a few more that I'm going to tell you. But before I do, let's go ahead and get one batch started. I'm going to put some of this in here and I'm going to blend it up. We're going to go ahead and put this in here, and it's going to look like it's not doing anything, but it is. It looks like it's not going to work, but it does. And it really blends it up. You know, it's not going to be a fine powder. I mean, lemongrass is a hard one to turn into a total fine powder, but it's still perfect. And also, this is antibacterial and antiviral, so which is even better during these times. You know, I really love to just add it to any type of tea that I'm making. And honestly, you could add a big chunk of this, and it's not even too strong. It just has such a nice flavor. Or you can just do a straight herbal tea. And that's also, I think, better in the evening when you don't want any caffeine. And it's really good. And the smell, you know, the smell of lemongrass is just amazing. So we're going to go ahead and blend up more of these. And then I'll have one more thing about the lemongrass. And I also want to say, as we're putting more of this stuff in here, there was a study that showed that it increased the red blood cells, which could be good if you have cancer. Now, for whatever I'm saying, always talk to your doctor. These are just things that I read or just things that I use for myself. But I do know lemongrass truly is amazing. And I'm going to go ahead and leave a link for that too down below. And something else, I know I mentioned curries. Clearly, I must love curries. But it's also good for marinating. I almost forgot to say, you know, fish, shrimp. If you eat meat, you can put it on chicken. And it just adds so much flavor mixing it all in there, of course, with other spices. And that's when I like to use this, because I never like when I get the clump of lemongrass. It's a harder plant to chew. It's essentially grass, so it's not going to be easy to chew down. So when it's grinded up like this, it doesn't get stuck in your teeth as much. So, I mean, there's so many different types of ways that you can use this and almost include it in your diet every day, whether it's with food or tea. Well, let's go ahead and get the rest of this blended. I'll tell you. This smells amazing. It makes the whole, well, just the kitchen, I can't say the whole house smell wonderful. It really is a fragrant smell. I remember I used to have the essential oil, and everybody could always smell it off me and always wondered what it was because it smelled so good. You could just smell this all day. Okay, as you can see, we cover cold weather vegetables, and we even have a cold tolerant tomato that you guys are going to have to tune into Campbell's Freedom Farm and see that later on. And then go ahead and let me know if you use your lemongrass and what ways you use it. Please subscribe, like, and share.